Welcome to podcast number 3 with Francine Pehi, a mother, a grandmother, a Reebok CrossFit Games athlete, and an all-round beautiful soul and such a cool person to spend the day with. Hear of Fran's journey of resilience and healing through some of her toughest times in the recent years, the breakdown in relationships, the importance of learning how to heal, and the groundings you can learn to love from your very own culture. Fran's energy and passion for people in life made this such a hilarious and genuine podcast to be about. If you want to hear more, sub yourself in. Kia ora, hello, and welcome to Subbed, a raw but genuine space for our players and athletes, our idols and sportswomen, to give insight into their journeys of becoming the unapologetically talented females that they are. Hear the struggles and adversity and celebrations of diversity as we peel back and sub you into some of the most powerful and untold experiences of what it is to be a successful female in sport. Don't panic, it's just a chat. If you need to, I can edit it. I can edit stuff. Not very well, but here we go. Alright, so
I wish I knew my Pepe.
Oh, yes. That's okay.
No, I don't know
it. Okay, well, we can talk about it. Anyway, welcome to our subbed podcast. Thank you for having me come up to the Sunshine Coast. Welcome me into your whare. And just thank you for letting me come and share and talk because I've obviously given you a rundown on Subbed and our podcast and our reasoning behind it all and creating it. So I'll let you introduce yourself. You you let us know who you are, and obviously given the background to Subbed, what is it that you've in sport achieved that would make you be a part of this?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. When you sent me that message, I'm just thinking, holy crap, what the hell? This is so awesome. An absolute privilege to be here with you today, Kirby.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
And what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
No, it is. It is whatever the outcome. It's awesome. Spreading that awareness. And so thank you. And you're always welcome at our whare. Yeah. Always. Forever.
Thank you.
My name's Francine Pehi. I am a mother of 3 grown children, 2 mokos, two girls. Been living in Australia for a lot of years.
A while.
Quite a few decades.
Yeah.
40 years almost. Yeah.
How old are you? Can I ask that?
I'm about to turn 50. Yeah. Pretty cool, hey? Yeah. I wasn't excited until probably yesterday. Now I'm starting to get excited.
Yeah.
I turn 50 in a couple of weeks.
Are you having a party?
Yeah, I hope so. I wanted to organise one, but my daughter's just like, she goes, what? Huh? I didn't want to have a party.
Yeah, you should.
But
there's a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know now. But my eldest girl, my kids are organising the party.
Cool.
Yes, I don't know when or anything, but
yeah,
it'll still be awesome.
Yeah,
starting to get it super excited. Yeah, so I've been over here for that long, and geez, that's the basics.
Yeah, and then your sporting.
Oh, sporting. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, your
CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I in relation to sporting, I was never didn't get brought up with sports. There was no sporting background whatsoever. A bit of netball when I was a teenager, maybe for a year or 2.
Yeah.
That was about it. Nothing.
And that's it. So let our listeners Well, our thousands of listeners.
Hell yeah. Oh, I better behave. Yes.
What was it that you did achieve? What's your t-shirt?
Okay.
Where did you go?
Yeah. So
how did you go?
I qualified qualified and competed at the 2015 and the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So in the first one, 2015, I represented CrossFit Staunch proudly, obviously very proudly, and that's where I met you.
Yeah.
At CrossFit Staunch.
Yeah, and that's where I learned about CrossFit.
Yeah,
games.
you just started when I met you. You started CrossFit.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And I went over there, competed in America at the CrossFit Games in the 45 to 49 year division.
Yeah.
Came third.
Yeah.
In the world. So that it was. I can't explain. I'm still struggling to articulate the feelings, but just being able to represent my two homelands, because when I did compete over in America, I was part of the Pacific region, so ironically it was Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, okay.
So that was really special. It was so special.
And then went back again.
And then qualified again the next year in 2016 and came 12th, I think. 12th or 13th.
Yeah.
But and I did compete and train for the 17, 18, 19 and 20.
Yeah.
But 2017, the day before the online competition started, where it all begins to process to the games, it was actually probably 12 hours before the opening of the competition. I ended up doing a grade 2 calf tear, doing a 89 kilo clean and jerk.
Heck.
Yeah, so that'll
do it.
Absolutely devastating.
Yeah. And then how was the recovery time for that?
It was long.
You missed the whole year, obviously.
No, I still competed. I didn't go to the games,
yeah.
but I still competed out throughout the competition the 2017 competition for that first 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I got to the end, and in the end I ended up 61st out of I think that year was something like 5. I should know these figures, but thousands of females worldwide. I still came 61st.
Amazing.
Yeah, still did really, really well.
With a calf tear.
With a grade 2 calf tear. Yeah. And then the next year I think I competed again, but still struggled. Came 48th.
Better again.
Still good. Yeah. Still great.
Top 50.
Yeah, because I ended up with a bulging disc after the calf tear.
Got ya.
And then 19, I had a lot of personal troubles with a couple of tragic deaths in the family.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just did the competition, which was great.
Yeah.
Did that 5-week online competition, and I was very grateful to even get through that. That was a struggle mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
Just going through the motions. Yeah. Okay. And where are you at now with CrossFit or training?
Well, since Corona, I just before coronavirus and the restrictions happened, I had just finished the Masters Online Qualifier.
Yeah.
For 2020.
Yeah.
So I literally just finished that, so I was due to, and I ended up coming 53rd there, which was great.
Yeah.
Still great, with only again a couple of months training.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's habitual self-sabotage or whatever it is, but it's just the way it is. It's the way it's panning out with life these days. So it was a planned and scheduled break anyway. Yeah. It's just a couple of weeks longer.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll get back into it.
Yeah. But and just carry on.
I don't know what capacity yet. Yeah.
Do you have goals for the future in it?
Not sure. No, not sure. I'm just really enjoying the downtime, and I'm excited about going back to classes.
Yeah, okay.
No personal programming at the moment, but I mean, I might just get one class in, and I'll be like, okay, time to gear it back up again. Yeah, that's just how it flies, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
You know how it is.
100%.
Yeah, you just...
I'm going to do this now.
Yeah. And then you get in with your crew and you're like, oh my gosh,
I
okay.
know. I love Staunch. That was probably a big lifesaver for me, is meeting that community.
Forever Staunch.
Yeah.
Hey.
And that was one of the first things that I remember. I wasn't there. I hadn't started yet, but seeing the boys do the haka on your return was really powerful.
I just played that the other night again, actually.
Yeah.
Like every now and then I'll play that.
Yeah.
It's online.
Emotional, isn't it? Like, and it's funny. Yeah.
And to have one, and to have so many people perform that for you is the greatest honour.
Yeah.
It's such an honour.
Yeah. And
bestowed upon somebody.
I was like, oh, I want to be friends with her. And here we are.
Yeah. Sweet.
So you did say growing up not really sporty, had a jam at netball. Take us back. What was a young Fran Pehi growing up? Where did you grow?
So
First 10 years in New Zealand.
First 10 years in New Zealand. Tokoroa. Yeah, old Toke. Am I allowed to say that? Toke. Yeah, Toke girl.
6.
For a few years, and then we were shipped off to. Then we were taken to Hamilton.
Same.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're probably my sister.
Possibly.
No, seriously. Yeah, and then came over here.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was raised by my grandparents from birth.
Okay.
My paternal grandparents from birth.
Yeah.
And then for some reason came over here to Australia, and we
with
were
your grandparents.
Yeah.
Mum stayed home. New Zealand
birth
home.
mother in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And then my birth father was over here.
Yeah. Okay.
In Australia, in Caloundra,
right.
and he's always been here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just dive right into, because that's obviously like a different family dynamic. Yeah. And again, knowing of what we're about with subbed and what we sort of go through, and relationships is a big thing. So how does your family dynamic, when you're young, you just sort of go through the motions, and then when you get older, you peel it all back and try and put it all together and make logical sense of it. So
true.
Yeah.
It's perfectly scripted.
Yeah, like, and it's I don't know, and it can be like an exciting journey to go through. Do you want to share what your experience was? Because I know we've spoken before, only because we're like, we're both from Tok.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad and my grandparents worked at the mill too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then you came out with the rest of it, and you lose track of. Yeah. So, how's that been? And impacting? Has it been impact?
It's been I don't even know what the words are. When we came over, so I guess when I was adopted, like I was taken straight from the hospital, and I didn't realise until I was a little bit older that I always had a lot to do with my parents, my birth parents.
Okay.
With thanks to my grandparents who adopted me. So I didn't really notice that anything was, hoha or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but until I kind of got into it later on in life, and then I found out other things
uncovered.
And I'm sure that there are lots of things that I probably would like to know now, but I'm too afraid to
bring it back
ask
up.
the questions, and also bring it back up and have to deal with that, because that would it's probably a little bit, I don't know, I just don't want to deal with it. But as years went on, like we came over to Australia and just
carried on.
My grandfather, both of them just worked really hard, and I know we were loved, there's no doubt about that. But I guess looking back, like the way I am with my children, I'm just trying to, you know, have those conversations and sort of like not be too, well, involved in their lives, of course, but I don't know, it was just so different, like, you know, with my grandparents, just hardworking. Yeah, that was it, just go to work hard. That was it.
Yeah,
you know?
Okay. So going to school or
over here
as a young person, the relationship with your grandparents, they're working and you're doing your thing.
Yep. Yeah. They worked, I went to school, there was very minimal
interaction.
Lots of kisses and cuddles with mum and stuff like that, of course, but none of those deep conversations.
Yeah. That if anything was wrong, it wouldn't have surfaced.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And you know, they were staunch as, mum was staunch as.
And that's perhaps a generational thing.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
And
we're all coming through and we're all like feeling.
Yeah,
we want to talk about everything.
That's so true.
Podcasts.
But that's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. And it was a generational thing, and that's just how mum was. Like, you know, she was far out,
just staunch
and just worked and did her thing. And then, you know, and that was us kids. We would, us two girls, we would go to school and come home, we'd do the washing, do our schoolwork, and that's it. And then go to our room.
And what,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if there were any things that going wrong, going pear-shaped.
No idea.
No coping.
No idea. It was just like suppress.
Yeah.
And nobody at fault.
No.
It was just...
It's just that's how you go about it.
Yeah.
Go about your business. Get on with it. And it's same like with really just get on with it sort of attitude. And then...
Absolutely.
My poor mum had me.
I don't think so.
And almost forced... you know, there's other people within our family of, you know, certain things have forced our family into situations where mental health has to be discussed, or mental illness. They're two different things, but they have to be discussed, because otherwise you run the risk of the ultimate of losing someone. And know within your family that's been that's happened. It happened in our family when I was a bit younger, and it's such a horrific thing to try and manage. And then it's not until something like that sometimes occurs, and it's sad that then you speak about it, you know, ultimately too late. But, and again, that's why putting together something like this is really important to me, because, just hearing people speak and share, I'm hoping that, you know, young people will then go home and say, hey, I need a talk, mum or dad or friends or whatever. So, it's because you're not old, but
I don't feel old.
You don't look old. You don't lift old.
Well, I haven't lifted for 10 weeks. I don't know about that, Kirby.
But the difference in how you had to, like you said, suppress things going through teenage years, young adulthood.
But I didn't realise at the time, hey. I had no idea I was doing that.
Yeah.
Until just like recently, the last probably 10 years or so, I'm just like, oh.
And how did that, was it through events or?
I think it's just maturity, just age. Well, age.
Yeah.
I don't know about maturity. I get way too on that one.
Yes. Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah. Well, so through age and time and that sort of thing, and it comes about it. Then does it become an issue to deal with? Because I know for myself, like I didn't know I had issues with things until shit went super pear-shaped, and not just myself, but everyone around me was like, that's not normal to behave like that.
No, that's right.
Yeah, so... Yeah.
And even when I had the children, I didn't realise the difference between my... You know, I was just so caught up in working, being a young mum. I don't know. I didn't truly realise the difference between consciously, I didn't realise the difference between my relationship with them. Well, I did a little bit, and mine with my parents. Obviously, I did things differently with my children.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to. So I did realise different. Oh, God, I'm not even making sense.
That's okay.
Some
things transferable.
Yeah.
Some
yeah, but I
things.
didn't truly really realise all of that until I came out of that. You know, when the kids were older.
Yeah.
I'm like, I look back on it like, oh, okay. You know, I did do a fair bit of differently raising my kids.
Yeah, okay.
But did any of that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Steve's laughing in the background. But yeah, it does make sense from because I think, say, with my partner and his kids, and sometimes I'm like, first of all, not my place to come down and be like, we need to do this.
Yeah.
And it's only because of how my mum was.
Yeah.
You need to do this.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not like that. Really, anymore.
Exactly.
As much. I don't know. Anyway.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. So.
Every circumstance is different.
Yeah.
Every
case by
situation.
Case. That's right. And I guess because we do the point of subbed and now women that we're speaking with is our crossover in sport.
Yep.
And I know a lot of trauma has come through more so, like you said, in the last 10 years. Also, that was when you were kind of CrossFit Games, like, and that is huge. Training, like just your whole lifestyle and schedule routine is. So how did you?
How did I do it? I have no fucking idea. Yeah.
So how? And because again, like I know a lot of this is directed at young'uns coming through to cope. It's so cool because it didn't surface really for you until
later,
further down the track.
Yeah.
So how did you? Was CrossFit a positive? I know, because for me, I joined Staunch because everything else was just so. I was just in the shit with every which way I was going, and I just went to CrossFit. Nobody knew me. I wasn't very good, and it was just a cool thing for me to just go.
Very, very good, actually, right from the start.
Have you seen me do a snatch?
You were good. Trust me.
Tulsa calls it the running snatch.
It's okay.
Anyway, like that was for me. That was my like outlet. Just go. Escape there. So when you were going through, you were training and heavily training.
I was, but that was so random. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Can I tell you the story about how I found CrossFit?
Yeah.
So I was actually, I'd been going to the gym, just Good Life, and I wasn't really. I'd been going there for about 12 months. Oh, no shame on Good Life or anything, but it was good for the time that I was there, but then I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to go get myself a PT.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, because I just want to do something else. I don't know why. I was just doing classes here and there.
Yeah.
And then I got the price for the PT package. I'm like, oh yeah, and it was all just meant to be. And I rang my brother and I asked him, what else do you do apart from your martial arts stuff? And he goes, oh, I do this thing, it's called CrossFit. I'm like, oh, what's that stuff? And he was in Brisbane, I was here in Caloundra. Yeah, I just moved up here from Adelaide. Marriage breakdown, blah, blah, blah. I was 39. And anyway, and then all of a sudden, when you have those, you open up your world or whatever it is, your whatever to something, like you'll say something and then all of a sudden, like pregnant women, far out, man, they're everywhere. All these pregnant women all of a sudden.
Got ya.
Yeah. And then literally the next day or 2 days later, what do you know, this CrossFit car drives past. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it was, anyway, so I called them up, I tracked them down and...
that's the universe.
Saying,
Yeah. Laws of attraction.
Laws of attraction, definitely.
Anyway.
That's the one. And so my brother, he goes, oh, I train with Matt Swift. Boom, grandfather of CrossFit.
Oh.
Matt, from CrossFit Brisbane. He trained with him back in the day.
Cool.
So he said to me, oh, I'll call Matt and I'll get back to you. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, I saw this car drive past and I was just like straight onto it.
Yeah.
And ended up, I booked in, found them, went for my first session, and that was it.
Loved it.
Yeah. Fell in love, addicted. It was, reminded me of the army days, not particularly with the equipment and stuff, but just the heart back then, the get in and do it, and more than anything, the community.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just like coming together.
Yeah, that was a big
Far out was a major social aspect for me.
Yeah.
That was my social outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
seeing everyone every day.
But doing it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
And
that was 2010.
Yeah.
Oh, and then all of a sudden I broke my arm in
really
2013. Yeah. Well, apparently. I'm not so great now. Far out. I'm still, anyway. But in 2013, I broke my arm in a CrossFit competition, a 2-day comp here in Caloundra.
Lifting?
Nah, box jumps.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a really bad break.
Yeah.
Just snapped the ulnar and radius in half. Ended up with 2 operations, a week in hospital, and still got a couple of plates and a handful of screws in my arm, which do give me a lot of trouble, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And then that was in 2013. Missed out on the CrossFit Games in 2014 by one place. 8 months after my accident, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then qualified in 2015. But other than that, at the age of 39 is when I found it all, and
which is amazing, and it's
45
funny.
I ended up there.
I've been speaking to a lot of women in their sporting success and elite, and not none, but a lot of them. I never did sport when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of it's been interesting. I thought I would potentially be speaking to child prodigies.
Yeah.
And no.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I find it interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah. What sort of, because you think you've got to have a certain type of mindset, and I guess this is
and training age, hey?
To
be at that level.
And even things like muscle memory. But I think maybe you touched on it before, good segue into that. You said you were in the army. Yeah. So your mindset must be pretty built in, solid. Yeah. Do you think that was... what was the army like as a female?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And if I did try and re-enlist... I can't remember when it was. It was after I broke my arm, though, so it must have been about 2014, maybe. Yeah, I tried to re-enlist.
But no good.
No. It was a pre-existing injury.
Oh, okay.
Because of my arm. So if I had my way, I would still be in there.
Yeah. But you went to the CrossFit Games instead.
Yes, I did.
Which I think's cool.
It is very cool. Yes.
So, what we were speaking about before...
got sidetracked.
No, you're fine. CrossFit... trauma surfacing. Did CrossFit play a positive part, or was it just a distraction? Because
I think it was a distraction.
Yeah. And then when it stops,
again, like we were talking about before with my daughter. With my daughter. Yeah. A very healthy distraction.
Yeah.
Well, healthy. I was pretty addicted.
Yeah.
And I think, my family commitments kind of went to the wayside a little bit with my children.
For training?
Yeah, for training, definitely.
But they were older.
Yeah, they were, but still, still needed their mama around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mum was off spending hours and hours training and working full time, so it was pretty full on.
Yeah, and did you have your 2 mokos then?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So
one came along at the start of February.
Yeah.
Okay. At the start of 2015. She came in February 2015. Oh, okay. So it was just before I qualified for the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came along.
They're both girls, aren't they?
Yes.
Having them, are you do you think your kids look to their what do they call you?
Karani. Yeah.
Karani. Cool.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to be a karani.
Oh, that's... do they look to their karani as someone, like you're pretty strong?
Yeah, they
useful.
They used to, like when they were. Well, I think they still do. Like the oldest one, she's 5.
Okay.
And yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, muscles, karani. I'm like karani. I got muscles." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." They don't mind jumping around on me. They know I can handle it.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It has been brought up a couple of times with them.
Yeah, okay.
By them.
And your daughters?
Yeah.
How about your daughters?
2 girls.
Are they the same?
Or
do you get to... Do you have... You were speaking about the relationship with your parents and then raising your children.
Yeah.
Like, I know I idolise my mum for just being mum.
Yeah.
Staunch.
Oh,
slightly
they're
stubborn.
amazing, aren't they?
I hope she doesn't listen.
She'll be listening to every word, Kirby.
Yeah, like is it like a proud sort of role that you're able to play in your girls' lives?
Oh yeah. I think that I have no doubt, and you can ask them too, that there's definitely room for improvement. But that's okay. It's like life. I'm definitely doing my best, and when there are moments that I think, oh, geez, I could change something here or there, I try to.
Yeah.
But it's definitely... I did train with actually, both of them did do CrossFit at some stage. Yeah. My son's never done it.
Okay. Not a thing.
He's the pianist. He's the bloody...
Artistic.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, they're all artistic, but he's the only one that's really dabbled in music. So piano, guitar, percussion, you name it. Yeah.
Left brain.
It's amazing. Yeah, really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so...
Okay. So you'll... you don't have to... you don't have to touch on this because I know it's from your side of your family, not you. And we were speaking about it briefly before on as a mum and going through things that are pretty traumatic for your children and having to how are your coping strategies, if that's what you try and call it, a strategy, or you've been through a lot and you're there now almost on the other end of what almost subbed as as a one would like where you know what I'm getting at. So from the outside or from a different angle, how do you approach things that are like our social issues or like with young people and that kind of thing now through all that you've been through and successfully, and how do you try and approach it, or what things work or what things don't work for you now?
I think I definitely have a lot more work to do. Yeah. There's a lot of things that that need addressing. Yeah. And because of even though 2 years ago, to me it's still recent, it's still very real, it's still very raw. Those particular tragedies, I still feel like I haven't dealt with them. Yeah, and I do, again, just suppressing it. Yeah. But I'm very aware of it.
Which is better than being unaware.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I do try and talk about the circumstances, but it's in the same time I'm looking at different strategies. Like I'll delve into obviously fitness and maintaining extremely, I believe, to be healthy relationships with my peers, my friends, and whanau and my children, obviously. Movement, body movement, keeping in touch, like staying more grounded with nature, especially the ocean.
Yes.
What's the other one? Yeah, crystal. I've been delving into crystals and healing bowls, singing bowls.
Yeah.
Kind of
Which
healings
are
like that,
all,
vibration, energy.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's sort of like stirring up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And bringing it to the fore.
Yeah, okay. Which is good too, because we spoke about it before, a lot of treatment, if that's what you want to call it, or looking into things.
Yeah, like different healing practices, alternative.
But stuff can be expensive.
Oh,
so it's like, and as a young person, you don't have money.
No, that's right.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Not for things like that. If you are consciously aware of things at such a young age. So being, being grounded, or the ocean, or things like that.
Journaling. Breath work, meditation. These are all things that you don't need $1 trillion for.
Yeah.
You just need to know that you need to do them, and it's good for you, and it's healthy for you, and it creates that balance.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, and it's another tool. These are all different tools to use to sort of like bring that stuff out of you, what's inside. We need to purge it somehow.
To acknowledge it.
Yep. And not dismiss it, because that's just not going to work, you guys. It's not working. No. We all know that.
Yeah.
And I'm still a living example of that. It's just not working.
Yeah.
So there are things that we can do that don't cost the earth.
Yeah.
And a lot of them is finding your vibe.
Yeah.
What you've created here. It's amazing.
I hope so.
Even checking out the website, everything is there.
Yeah, and that's really important. The things that do go wrong, things go wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, and B.
But it doesn't define.
I was just about to use that exact word.
Yeah.
It does not define you.
Yeah, it doesn't define you, or who you then have to be.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's part of your journey.
Yeah. So,
assess it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
And it's the thing I love about your journey, because when I first met you, I was just like, holy shit, she went to the CrossFit Games. That's all I thought, because I just wanted to do CrossFit.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, oh, I want to get a t-shirt. And I am Team Pehi.
Oh, yeah, you were. Hard out.
But then, about people's journeys and stuff, I'm finding too, the more I do these podcasts, the sport thing is really just...
it's like a cherry or a bit of the icing.
Yeah, and it's like a cool part of their journey, in whatever capacity it's made up to be within their journey. But it's all the other things, and the journeys are like where shit's going wrong. Or
it'd be incredible.
And then and that's what I think I enjoy about your journey, is that where I thought was just like the pinnacle of it all. Yeah, it's just sort of like, it's just a thing I did. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I am so incredibly... I'm still in awe that I pulled that off.
Yeah.
Twice.
That was in your journey.
I am absolutely in awe. And I still cannot believe... And I think about it almost, not every day, but quite often. I just can't believe that someone like me, this little wee... I call myself that little wee chubby brown girl from Tokoroa... Like, she ends up at the CrossFit Games. Like, what the fuck?
Since when? Yeah.
And I found out, I'm honestly, I believe that, just looking at the statistics that I know, that I'm the first Māori woman, or the first Māori to qualify and compete at a CrossFit Games.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. From what I know, I've looked at the names and the, from other athletes. Yep.
Yeah. How cool.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I am the first one. I know.
Another reason why we love talking to you.
It's funny.
But
awesome.
when we're speaking about journeys, like, I know, and I'm sorry, you did lose your mum. Yeah, 2 years.
2 years ago.
And that started a new journey going home.
Yeah.
But that was a powerful one.
Yeah.
And
that was very...
Yeah, and like that in itself again is what we were touching on, almost like generational trauma and that sort of thing, and resurfacing that and finding ways to heal from that. Like, how was that experience?
That was probably the losing her in the first instance was just, I still can't even believe that she's not here. They're meant to be around forever, you know. But how it all came about, Mum lived in Victoria, I lived up here in Queensland with my children. She'd been asking me to go down and live with her for many years, but I don't know, selfish. I just didn't know how I would live down there. And I really didn't like that place. Like, I was gone by the age of 15. I was out of there, out of Geelong. Boom, gone. Army, see you later. Off on my own journey around the world, doing whatever I did. And she wasn't overly unwell. She just wanted me there.
Company?
Yeah. And she had company and stuff, but she wanted me there. And she would always... You know, she'd always talk to me, oh, come down. Anyway, I never went. And my kids were up here too. I still had responsibility to my youngest. She was still in school. And then my eldest daughter, she ended up having her first baby. So, my first moko came along, and that made it even harder. But then, as it turned out... she was diagnosed with cancer. But we didn't know how far, and we didn't know how long. They couldn't take a biopsy. She wouldn't allow them to take a biopsy. Therefore, they couldn't determine how long she had or how far it was. What stage she was at or anything. So, the doctor said, she's probably got a year or two. I'm like, okay, it's better than nothing. So I packed up. I decided, that's it. I'm going. This is it. I've just got to go. Packed up my house and everything up here. And prior to that, I just moved in. I've just left a long-term relationship of a few years that had just broken down. I just moved into my own unit 5 weeks before, and then I got this news. So I thought, that's it, I'm just going. So broke lease, packed all my stuff up, put it in storage. Literally 3 days, started driving. I left Caloundra on the Tuesday, November. The 20th, I think it was. And started driving down to Victoria. It's normally a 2-day trip. Could be done in 1 day, to the other end, the opposite end of Australia. And stopped in at Canberra to see my son. Didn't know when I'd see him again, so I thought, I'll just stop in quickly, do a quick stop in overnight. And woke up the next morning to hearing that Mum was in hospital. Fucking threw everything in the car. I'm like, come on, crew, let's go. Carry on with our trip.
So your son joined you?
No, I had my daughter. My youngest daughter was with me.
Okay.
So repacked the car and... started driving down. I can't remember how far is Canberra from Melbourne.
I don't know Canberra, Sydney.
Far out. I can't remember, but it was a few hours trip. And anyway, she died 2 hours before I got there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I saw her, she was still warm, and it was pretty horrible. And then, I guess the process was taking her home.
So you took her home?
Took her, and again, there was a lot of trauma and discontent over where she was going to be laid to rest. It was, I've heard about all that stuff. I don't know what you call it. I'd never experienced it, and I certainly never dreamed that we would.
Like that.
Not for Mum. And it was traumatic, to say the least. It was horrific. And that carried on for a good week and a half. When we were back home, pretty much as soon as she passed, it started.
Of where she would
where she would be laid to rest, yeah. So, and it was, I can't even,
And did you have your
insane.
like your sister and siblings, like support networks?
Yeah, my children were there. My sister flew over from Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, so her and she was adopted too. So my grandparents were my grandmother was her auntie.
Oh, okay.
So we grew up together, us two girls.
I see. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm one of many children on both sides, but really only grew up with her.
Yeah, okay, I see. And then that journey, where is that now? Where did that take you? Because you went home?
Yeah, went home, took Mum home, ended up, laying her to rest, and came back to Australia a week later.
Yeah.
And I'd left my car at Mum's place and had unpacked my stuff. Not all of my stuff, and basically tried. There were lots of family issues going on, like really heavy, traumatic, bad family stuff. Back home and back in Victoria where her home was.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, well, I can't do anything here. Like, there's nothing I can do. So, I just packed my car back up and drove back to Queensland. I had nowhere to live.
Wow.
I had no job, no money, no home. I was fucking homeless. It was fucked.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucked.
Wow. How did you navigate through that? Like, I mean,
obviously, it was
up here, or you just
I have friends up here, but nobody, I guess, that I wanted to burden that much with.
Yeah, and because you were still grieving.
So the grief on top of losing Mum, but the trauma of the events that followed her passing were, I mean, to this day, it's just absolutely, I don't even know how I'll get through it. I'll, deal with it. But
fractures a lot of
relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah, a lot of relationships lost. It was crazy.
That's
but I just pretty much took it, honestly, moment by moment.
Yeah.
And I was driving up here and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to stop here. It was literally gone down to stops, where I would stop for a coffee or for a break. Because I didn't know where I was going. I knew I was coming back to Queensland.
Yeah.
And then my dad, my birth father, is up here, and I just said, can I stop in here and have a sleep? And I never left. Him and his wife, my stepmother Kylie.
Yeah.
Because they only lived in a little place. I didn't want to burden them.
Yeah.
They just said, just stay here, take a room. So I ended up pretty much in a room there with them for a few months and got my old job back, was straight back to work pretty much within days.
Well, that's lucky.
Understatement. And about 4 months later, I had enough money to get into my own space.
Okay.
Got my own whare and that's it.
And here you are. But
now I can start healing.
Yeah. And that's a cool thing again, like through all that time when we were speaking about being grounded and you can like ocean, like big healer, that sort of thing. You can go and things are happening, but you can chip away and just try and hold it together.
Yeah, and that's just it, hey, super. Just chip away.
Yeah.
Don't look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it, if it's just too much, too overwhelming, dial it back, man.
Yeah.
Even if it's back to a minute.
Yeah.
Take that deep breath. Yeah. Take 5 of them.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and stop, no matter where you are, if it's just too much.
That's amazing. I didn't know that was all something that you were then trying to work your way through by coming back up.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean.
Well, no one speaks about.
Oh, well, everyone's got. I don't mind if people ask me the question, I'll fucking vomit all over you, man.
Word vomit.
Yeah.
I do that.
But I mean, unless it's brought up, I'm not going to really talk about it because I just think I like to support others and I'll definitely reach out when I feel I need to and when I feel
there's a space for it to be shared.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely...
Thank you for sharing. I think it's huge, and that was all in that was obviously condensed quite into a short space. But I do appreciate you sharing.
Oh, it's easy to share with you, Kirby.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
Yeah.
And I suppose we should probably wrap up, because we will
bore the hell out of everyone.
But in saying that, I have been enjoying. Yes.
Can I touch on something just quickly?
Yeah.
We were talking about cultural diversity.
Yes.
And getting in touch.
Yeah.
So
hang on, I'm going to push that again. I feel like it may have stopped. I don't know. Again, this is me, my good technician.
It's awesome.
Duties. Oh shit! I just kicked my cup of tea over.
It's all right.
I don't know how to really. Oh, I just got tired.
It got what?
Tired? I don't know. Just turned itself off. Shut up.
It's probably like, hey, you two fellas over there. Shush, I'm getting tired.
Okay. Anyway, Karen. Yes. So, cultural diversity.
Oh well, not so much cultural diversity, but culture.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Because at the start, you said, "I wish I could share my pepeha."
Oh yeah. And I was driving back from the gym this morning. I'm like, fuck, I'm so pissed, man. I should know it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any excuses, because there are none good enough.
Yeah.
There are none.
But
it is a thing. Yeah. I don't know my pepeha.
Yeah.
And what I do want to touch on, because I just had this conversation with a young girl yesterday.
Yeah.
And she's 16. She's 16. And she was talking to me about, how she's sad because she's disconnected from her whanau back in New Zealand. She lives in Australia, born and bred here in Australia, a Māori girl. But she was talking about how she wants to learn the language and all the tikanga and all that sort of stuff. And I was just saying to her, and she said she's got an opportunity to go back there and get fully immersed. And I'm on her.
Yes.
Do it. Yeah. Do it. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, if to all those young girls out there, all our young people, if you have that opportunity and you don't think that it's important, trust me, it's fucking important.
Yeah.
It is so important. It's the root, it's the being, it's your being, it's who you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that connection with it, you need to find it.
Yeah.
You have to find it.
Yeah.
Because...
And is that what you're doing?
Yes.
But so we can chat and the next time.
Yes, it is. The next time, you wait. Wait, I'm
cool.
serious.
I know. I went home for my nan's tangi.
Yeah.
Sorry, unveiling. And that was a big part as well, learning. Just learning so much more about a whakapapa that I did not know. And it was my responsibility.
It is
to know.
Yes,
and
it
to
is
learn.
ours.
And it's a powerful thing when you start learning, and that's all we're doing.
Incredibly.
Yeah.
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 And there's definitely, there's a need for it. We have to.
Yeah, and then
it's the essence of who we are.
Yeah, and then when you do have, when things come up, because they do. It's life. If you know who you are, you are so much more equipped to handle that.
Yep, you said that perfectly.
Yeah.
So much more equipped.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's a cool way to be.
Yeah. And I think, personally, we are so blessed to have such an amazing culture.
Yes.
Indigenous people.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just so blessed, and we have that strong connection with, and I mean others do too, but organically, the Indigenous people do have that more so than
that's cool. I hope she takes that up if she's able to.
Yeah, so do I.
Because
I might join her.
Yeah. See you later.
Nah.
We're going back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you touched on that because that's something that really resonates.
And you
with
don't
myself
and you don't
as
even
well.
have to go home.
No,
Like,
there's so many things.
I mean, out
now.
of COVID, have come so many amazing opportunities to access all of this online.
Yeah.
Even more than before pre-COVID. Yeah. I'd started my te reo course, which I was travelling. I'd only went to one session, but I tried it. Drove to Zilmere, which is an hour away, at the end of a working day, and I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit to my te reo, and that was the only one I knew about. This particular course. I thought, oh man, I can't keep this up. Like, it's writing me off for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Like, this is just. So I pulled out, and I was really disappointed in myself that I didn't have the energy to just keep going with it.
Yeah.
And then Corona, COVID hit. Then weeks later they've gone online. I'm like, sweet.
That's cool. That wasn't the Pikitau.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I came home, but I did it in Woodridge.
Yeah, on the other side,
yeah. But
gosh.
then I broke my face, so I couldn't see. And I had to, I had to pull myself out, and then, and how cool are they?
Yeah, they're amazing, those two boys.
Yeah, and so
much.
And then it's now come online. So
yes,
it's an online platform.
Yeah, so we need to hurry up and register because it starts next week.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah, and there's
Shout
only
out
60.
to
Only 60 spots available.
Oh, okay, yeah, and see, so things like that are out there, much like the different healing processes, breathing, meditation, things like that. There's resources out there everywhere to pull apart and find what works for you. So.
Sorry.
That's all right. Life, two things that I always tie the end of the podcast up with.
Oh, yes.
Which I should have given you a heads up with, but I didn't.
It's okay, I'll see how I go.
So, best life advice that you've been given that you can share.
My gosh.
I know, which is probably anyway, do your best.
Oh my gosh. What's yours?
Oh, okay. This is about you.
Sorry.
No, I was trying to not answer that. My best advice. It's funny actually because my nan used to always say to me, if you can't be good, be careful, and if you can't be careful, don't get caught. And I shared that once, and I die that I did that now at a speaking engagement with a high school, and here I am up on this telling people, but if you can't be good, don't get caught. And I wish I never did that. Like, I die that I did that, but anyway,
you did.
That's that is just, and that's probably more just because it came from my nan. So it's just something I remember, but I guess my I need to give myself a heads up, but I guess my best life advice is that probably that someone is always watching. So
that's a big one.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because you can interpret that any which way you want. Say if you are in the sporting arena, someone is always watching you. Someone is, and how you choose to behave or put things in place so that you won't go unnoticed. That, and because for me, I did a lot of hard work by myself. And it paid off because then when I came over to do all these sports where you had to be like quite skillful and coordinated, all things I am not, but I was really but I was really hardworking, so I had a really good base of that on that part of things, and that was often what was able to push me through, and it didn't matter that I couldn't pass left to right so on that aspect, like, someone was always watching, but then also, like, outside of that, someone is always watching, and however you choose to engage with that as well and respond is
respond rather than react.
Just be aware. So maybe
I definitely learnt from mainly my mum, my grandmother. She's it's just be kind, be so kind,
Yes.
and always have a cup of tea ready.
Oh,
Always have a cup of tea ready,
yeah.
and lots of love.
Yeah.
It was basic, but it was so true
Yeah.
and honest and necessary, and it still is to this day. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just be kind,
Kindness.
have a cup of tea,
And a cup of tea.
and lots of hugs, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
and
Lots of hugs.
I got my sister a teacup. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is so random.
Like random.
It's huge, and it's a cup of tea,
Yeah.
and it's a hug and a tea, or whatever. It says something. Anyway, she was having a rough time,
Yeah.
and so I got her a
Perfect.
big cup of hugs. Anyway,
Like
last
hugs.
one. Last point. What is your hope for young females in the future of
Oh, well,
sport?
I just hope, and I hope that they can see how empowering sport can be,
Yeah.
not just on a physical level,
Yes.
but on a mental and emotional and spiritual level,
Yeah.
and what it can do for not only themselves, but also for others,
Yeah.
including their families, and they can carry that through, especially as young people. They can carry that through, on for the rest of
Yeah.
their lives, and just share
Yeah.
and share that knowledge and experience
Yes.
with others,
Yeah.
and help. It's just a wonderful way of help lifting others up. It doesn't mean just
It's so much more than just
about them. Yeah, it's so much more than just sport. You've got teamship and looking after your mates and everything, and also helping. You'd be surprised how your kids would be surprised how much you actually help adults, us older ones.
I know. That's the whole
Big
reason
time.
how this came about.
Oh my gosh, I've looked at some kids, I'm like, whoa man, you are so awesome. You're so clever and so passionate and motivated. You know what? Yeah, I need to up my game a little bit.
Yeah.
And it can really, if there are adults out there that are open to it, there are adults that aren't, but the ones that are, you kids can actually, you can still, you can inspire us. Don't think it's just the other way around all the time.
Yes.
By any stretch of the imagination, but the possibilities are endless.
Cool.
Oh, I could go on and on. Does that all make sense?
That all makes so much sense. And that is us. We are done. We've made it. Watch the space. But thank you so much for coming on to our podcast.
Such a blessing.
I say it like there's a big team. It's just me. But
It's a pretty cool team.
Thank you for being a part
you're
of it. I
welcome,
really
Kirby.
appreciate it, and I hope that people out there can listen and resonate and really feed off what you've spoken about.
I'm wishing you all the best with all of this.
Thank you.
And hopefully, if I can help in some way,
This is a great
this
start.
is a really cool start.
Yeah.
But you're doing amazing things, Kirby.
Thank you.
Seriously, and that's off the record too.
Yeah. Okay, and that's us.
Flash. Oh yeah, that's us again.
We're done.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye. Bye. Bye.